Hello, everyone. Welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. We're playing Leverkusen tomorrow, and the only thing I can really think about is the fact that a huge transfer target for Bayern, Joao Palhinha, just signed a new contract at Fulham. You can't make this up. I read a whole essay, more essay than Mexicanos. This man was like, "Oh, Bayern, such a great club. Paulinho was disappointed not to join. He was super sad. It just wasn't." Bro, footballers are funny people, man. They're funny people. So now I'm thinking we're just waiting 3 months. January's going to be here. New year, new us, new DM, and he's going to join. Easy work. Well, no, ladies and gentlemen, that has not happened. Paulinho just signed a new contract at Fulham. Meaning, well, so it could be about a slight pay increase, so just getting paid more money. And so here's the story behind this. Florian Plettenberg is saying he got a pay rise, a significant one, following this contract. The Portuguese wants to secure his future because a transfer to Bayern in January is far from guaranteed. All depends on Tuchel and Bayern bosses. He's fully focused on Fulham now, but still open for a new big step. Something tells me Bayern's new sporting director, Christian Fround, actually not our sporting director, because our director of sport. No. I thought Marco Nepp was Marco Nepp is our technical director. I don't know what the hell the difference is. I feel like that's just a waste of money. Like, we're spending money for these pointless positions. Why do we need a technical director and a director of sport? What's the point? What's the tech? What, he's directing players with technical ability? Like, what does that job do? So, yeah, I think Christian Fround has different ideas. That's what I'm seeing here, ladies and gentlemen. I think our new sporting director has some different thoughts when it comes to the players he wants Bayern to sign. I'm kind of distracted right now because I'm watching a chess tournament and my goat Hikaru is cooking. That's why I'm distracted. That's why I'm all over the place. But no, hold on. Sorry, boys. Let me focus. Hikaru, get this W, man. Checkmate that bum. All right. So what I was saying before I rudely interrupted myself is Christian Fround might have a different idea in the same position. Fround, I think, is talking to different players, and Paulinho's camp might have asked Bayern, "Hey, is it still us? Is it over between us? Is it certain that we're coming to Bayern?" And Bayern are like, "Hey, we'll see how January goes." But right now, best believe Fround is working 24/7. This boy ain't breathing. He is working to find us a DM that could take us to the next level. And you got to remember, this is the guy that scouted Lucas Gonadua, who is a very decent young defensive midfielder, Casemiro-esque at Salzburg. Now, don't say we should sign him. No one in these comments should just, let's sign Gonadua. Look, he's a good player with good potential. I don't know why you want us to sign a 20-year-old who we want someone more established than that, someone 23, or we could go to the South American market. We could find a different person there. So I think Christian Fround has different names, and Paulinho isn't the priority. He could still be coming to Bayern, but he wouldn't come to Bayern if he knew 100%, or he wouldn't be signing a new contract if he knew without a shadow of a doubt that he was coming to Bayern. This is my logic. If he was coming to Bayern and everything was set up and it was laser focused on Bayern, then why sign a new contract? He's signing a new contract to get a significant pay rise What, for 3 months? Bro, you could wait on the same wages. But here's the thing. This makes Bayern, there's no release clause. It's confirmed. Sky Sports have said it. I think Florian Plettenberg said it. There's no release clause in his new contract. I was hoping for one. If he signs it, but hold on. From a Fulham perspective, why would you give him a pay rise knowing he's leaving in January? A significant pay rise at that. And why would you put a release clause if you know he's leaving in January? That makes no sense. What? You're going to give him a new contract so he plays better? No. If he's going to be a professional, he's going to maintain his level of performance at the club he's at. Also, you got to remember, his brother put out this long speech about how they really are disappointed that Bayern, the move didn't go through. They're super sad. And then he deleted that post, I think because something happened where Fulham, pressured them, obviously, because that's disrespectful to Fulham. Why would you put out a long message talking about how your client is unhappy that, or not unhappy, but like how sad he is that he isn't joining Bayern? So I don't see how this move means he's joining Bayern. I think he's open to a move, but this makes it harder for Bayern. He must have called Bayern and said, I'm signing a new contract. And Bayern were like, no. Because now we go to Fulham, and Fulham are like, hey, we got our player. He's more secure here. He's earning more money. And Palhinha might negotiate higher terms with Bayern, higher personal terms. And it's like, well, now we got to pay not just 55 million or 60 million. Now it's at least 70 million. So this move doesn't make the move to Bayern a guarantee. And I honestly just think it ain't happening, boys. It's not happening. Palhinha ain't joining Bayern, which means Christian Fran better have someone else, because we're going to get our midfield dominated in the coming months, especially when you start playing high-quality teams. We are going to be getting dominated if we're not careful. So, yeah, man, let's just see what happens. But I'm not hopeful that Palhinha is joining Bayern, if I'm being completely real. I am not hopeful at all. I don't think it's happening at this point. It's just, it's not going to happen. I'm not that sad, though, if I'm being honest. I'm not super sad. Because the way I see it, he is a good player, right? But why would we spend 70 million on a 28-year-old? See, I hate using age because we did spend 100 million on Harry Kane, who is literally 30. But why would we spend that kind of money on a 28-year-old who is he really like better than someone like Tchouaméni? Anyone in here, did you guys watch Germany versus France? Did you watch how Aurélien Tchouaméni dominated the midfield? He was just cooking. It was easy for him. He was flowing. Life was just on a straight path. It was genuinely wonderful how he dominated the midfield with Camavinga. It made it hard for Germany to keep the ball. That's what you want from a midfielder. That's the quality you want from your DM. And not just defensively. Not just defensively, with his physical strength. He was doing it intelligently on the ball. It's just the completeness I want. I want a DM that defends with their life, but also on the ball, they got some sauce to them. And I don't think Palhinha is really that special on the ball. I think, there's a difference between, like, he's bad on the ball and he's just, like, he's not bad on the ball, right? But he's not good on the ball. He's just mid in possession. He doesn't really have the brain to calculate some breaking line. He does simple things, which I don't mind. But if we're going to spend 70 million on a player, I would expect, at the very least, they're complete. And I hope Christian Fran can sit down with his scouts and find that player for us, because we need it. Bayern will never win another Champions League unless we have a holding midfielder. It's just a requirement in elite games. When you're playing Man City, with all their tactical maneuvers, you need a player that understands the game tactically. And not only understands the game tactically, because I believe all our players should at some level understand the game tactically, but they should understand how to deal with certain situations. Barcelona have had the privilege of having Pep Guardiola. And then after Pep, they just ran straight into Sergio Busquets. And it's funny because it's Pep that gave Busquets his role. Pep promoted Sergio Busquets. And Busquets dominated with Barcelona for 10 to 15 years. People don't appreciate players like Sergio Busquets, and someone in the chat's going to be like, oh, I'm sucking him off again. Here goes George doing his best impression of Logan Paul's fiance, just sucking off all this pee-pee. Bro, let me just do what I got to do. I'm just trying to describe what I want. See, I don't mind someone like Federico Redondo. I would love someone like that, actually. Someone with complete technical elegance while also being very strong in possession. Oh, here's what Palhinha said on his new contract that he just signed. What a snake. Nah, let me not do that. But come on, bro. If you got a move coming to Bayern and you're signing a new contract, it's not like he signed that kind of Josko Vardio contract at Leipzig where there's a release clause. Nah, he just signed a new contract, getting a significant pay increase, which is going to make it harder for Bayern to sign him. So the signing of a new contract demonstrates where my focus and commitment is at this moment. There's been a lot of talk about my future these past few weeks. Bruh, not talk. You were literally in Munich doing a medical and you passed it and the move fell down because Fulham couldn't find a replacement. All of us in life work and fight to make our dreams come true and to reach the highest levels, whatever our profession. If there's one thing that has always characterized me in my career, it's my professionalism, regardless of the moments I've been through. I don't forget where I came from and all the effort and dedication I've always had in fighting to achieve all the goals I've set out to achieve. And I will continue to do so. Since I arrived at Fulham, the affection and connection created will last forever regardless of what happens. That can never be called into question. I am grateful for all the support that the fans have given me since my first official game, and it is with the same strength that my teammates and I are counting on in our next game at the Cottage. Thank you. So, yeah, I ain't gonna read that, but I just read it. Damn, bro. Dang it. That's perfect for one of those memes where it's like, I'm not reading all that. I'm sorry that happened for you, but I'm happy that happened to you. Palhinha signing a new contract with a huge pay increase doesn't mean anything in the next 3 months because you would have been making that kind of money or more at Bayern. Bayern offer the big wages. That's what we do. We could afford to offer a player 20 million a season, and it doesn't hurt us financially for a long time. Now, of course, if we give every player 20 million, then there's a problem. I don't think it's wages that would have been a problem for Palhinha. I think it's assurance. Palhinha probably really wanted to join Bayern, but there's signals from Bayern's camp that we could be looking at other targets, cheaper targets, and we could be willing to take a risk with someone younger. Because Palhinha would have come in and already been an established player with experience under his belt. Whereas if you're signing a 20-year-old from, the Argentinian league, someone like Federico Redondo, who, by the way, we've never been linked to, but I'm just saying, if we signed a 20-year-old from that league, that's a risk. That's a risk because he hasn't played any, real top-level football. No disrespect to the Argentinian league, but there's a difference between clubs in Argentina versus clubs in Germany and England and France, top-level football. So we could be looking at someone like Matt Wiefer, the 23-year-old from Feyenoord. I wouldn't mind because I think Wiefer on the ball has the kind of qualities I want. Defensively, I think he has developing to do. And I don't know if he can be a lone holding midfielder. He would need some help. But again, it's all about having innovative solutions. And I don't know, man. I'm curious what the club does at the end of the day. I'm really curious. Oh, shoot. Look at that. We got a new member. My man, Yosuo Main. Welcome to the Bayern Club Ultras, the BayernNow Club Ultras. No release clause. It's over for us. Yeah, it really is. Who's ready for Man United and Leverkusen? Leverkusen tomorrow. We basically have a full fit team. I think Neuer might even be on the bench. I'm not exactly sure. Wait, is it tomorrow or next Friday? Am I tripping? The international break is over, right? Yeah, it's tomorrow. Okay. And there will be a match watch along for that. Don't worry. Don't worry about a thing because everything is going to be all right. Yeah, so Bayern against Leverkusen should be a really fun game at home as well. I thought it was away, but it's at home. So you would expect Bayern to perform. But I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed at the fact that Leverkusen have a very solid midfield. Their midfield consists of Granit Xhaka. Actually, I don't know who plays next to Xhaka. I mean, I'll watch their games, but it's not something that I remember. You know? Does that make sense? Let's watch. Let's look at Leverkusen's lineup versus Mönchengladbach. Oh, it's Palacios, of course, the DM, the defensive midfielder. Yeah, Palacios. It's kind of funny because I'll know in the game it's him, but I just can't remember his name after I click off a game. Grimaldo at left wing back. So they play with a back three. Cusino, or well, anyways, the player from the Ivory Coast is a really good defender, a good center back. Wait, that's a new signing, yeah? Yeah. That's a new signing. Yeah. No, he joined 2 years ago. When the hell? He had to have been on loan or something. They signed him for 23 million from Club Brugge. First of all, that's a lot of money for Leverkusen for a 20-year-old at the time they signed him. Well, so he's going from strength to strength, very versatile player who can play in a lot of positions across the back line. And then Jonathan Tah, who's basically in form. Jonathan Tah. And then Tapsoba. Wait! He did stay. So, yeah, Edmund Tapsoba. Fair enough to Tapsoba for staying at Leverkusen. It might be that Xabi Alonso pull. Xabi Alonso might really be that guy. Because he got Tapsoba to stay and Frimpong's there. I thought Frimpong was for sure leaving, even to a club like Bayern. And they even actually added to their team. But then, what really makes me go, wow, is Leverkusen's attack. I mean, Victor Boniface, he's like Nkunku, basically. He reminds me of Christopher Nkunku. I see Boniface, and I don't see him like Harry Kane. I mean, he has all the striker qualities, finishing, hold up play, but he also has very good dribbling. And yeah, he reminds me of Christopher Nkunku at Leipzig. Not at Chelsea because Nkunku doesn't play. If Chelsea wanted someone to replace Nkunku, they should just sign Boniface. And actually, I think Leipzig should have signed Boniface if they wanted a like-for-like replacement for Christopher Nkunku as opposed to going for Openda. Openda's good, but he's more of an upgraded version of Timo Werner. Just fast, good finishing. He's Timo Werner without all the deficiencies and good hold-up, actually. Florian Wirtz, right? He's going to scare you. Him and Boniface have a really good connection. And then you have someone who is very efficient, Jonas Hoffmann. I don't know why Hoffmann left Gladbach. He was really their main man. But I guess he's, playing in a team that's competing for things. And that's his level for now, right? But he's getting older. And then they have some good young prospects off the bench. See, the thing is, you got Granit Xhaka and Palacios in midfield. I'm really looking at it like they have a macho man in Palacios and someone that does pretty work and also has the macho quality in Granit Xhaka. So it might be a tough game for Bayern. I'm being completely honest. It's going to be a very tough game. But I'm curious, man. I'm curious how this team ends up playing. I'm very curious, boys. We won't go far in the Champions League, I'm afraid. Yes, without a DM, this is what Palhinha would have been useful for. Come in and be the macho man. We need that in midfield. I mean, Kimmich is definitely macho when it comes to tackling and doing all these things. But, Joao Palhinha's new deal at Fulham does include release clauses, but they're quite complex. There are set fees which decrease each summer, and they only apply to 4 clubs: Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester City, and PSG, not Bayern, any London rivals or Saudi sides. What? So this is one of those in-to-know accounts. I don't believe that. I don't. Why would Fulham have a release clause to 4 clubs? And why would Palhinha, if he wanted the big challenge to Bayern, not set a release clause to Bayern if he's setting release clauses to clubs? And why the hell would Fulham not include Bayern Munich? I mean, I can understand excluding London sides. No, this is bullcrap. This is one of those things you read and you just kind of just ignore, because when no one knows the truth, you're going to have people that come out and be like, I know the truth. And they're just going to start like, yeah, no, I don't believe that. Galatasaray have reached an agreement with Bayern for the transfer of midfielder Eyüp Aydin, who's actually Turkish. Aydin has not made a decision yet, and the Turkish club are waiting for his final answer. The transfer window in Turkey closes tomorrow. I hope it's a loan or at least a sale with a good option to buy or first matching offer right, whatever. So Kyle Walker also just announced his new contract extension at Manchester City. You know, in hindsight, I would not have minded signing Kyle Walker, considering we have one right back and just about anything else. Yeah, I don't think it has a release clause. I think we're going to get screwed. See, the beautiful thing is we have a new sporting director, and we can blame him. Christian Frond, you are under pressure. You better get us the next Casemiro. You better get us the next Chouameni. Because that's how I see this at this point. I see this as absolutely critical. Frond has a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. He's got a lot of work to do. Wait, yeah, work to do. Wait, do you say walk or work? Work to do. Yeah. I'm trying to be British. I'm not. I ain't ever gonna be British, man. So, yeah. I hate Palhinha. Yeah, all my homies, the whole hood hates him. Use Bayern for a better contract. Well, I wouldn't say use Bayern for a better contract. And let's not. Are we forgetting this man wore a Bayern shirt, took pictures with the media team, and the move fell through because the club probably shouldn't have waited till 48 hours before the window closed to get serious about a DM? Let's be serious here. I don't want anyone thinking Palhinha's at fault for his move to Bayern not working. I don't think he used Bayern to do anything. I think what happened is, no, Bayern aren't in the dark here. This is what I don't believe. I don't believe Palhinha would have signed a new contract. Bayern's a bigger club than Fulham. This didn't just happen. What I believe just happened here is Palhinha is getting doubts from Bayern that they're going to sign him in January. Because here, there were stories that said Bayern could go in. Could, not will. And this isn't to say Bayern won't sign a DM, because we absolutely need to, especially when we get to important games. And especially considering we're probably going to start sucking very soon. We're going to start losing and drawing games. Trust me, it's going to happen. But when the team needs that DM, and Tuchel's complaining about it behind the scenes because the club basically banned him from complaining in public. Christian Frond, he's going to be working. He's going to be finding someone. You're going to start seeing us get linked to players that you didn't hear before. We might start getting names in there that are going to be more interesting than Palhinha. If Bayern were willing to spend 70 million on deadline day, basically, on Joao Palhinha, imagine how and by the way, we still got all this money stockpiled. We didn't sign the right back we wanted. or gotten them on loan. We were going to sign Bella-Kotchap for $20 million. We didn't get a lot of our targets that we needed. We have money stockpiled. We made a surplus. Everyone's forgetting we only got Kim, but that was nothing because Lucas Hernandez went. So we bought Kim with the money we got from Lucas. So really, like our transfer budget basically did not move when you consider in all the sales. So all that money could be poured in January, but the club won't go for any B-Tech options. We're just going to find good opportunities in the market in January. We might do an Enzo Fernandez, just get a really good midfielder in January, man. So, yeah, I want everyone to remember that as a very important fact. That's a very important thing to remember. So, I wouldn't be too worried about Palhinha specifically. I'd be worried if the club decided, we'll just wait till next summer, because that's another. Our overall net spend is 18th, meaning we made money. We're not a club that should be selling players to make money. We sold Gravenberch for $40 million. We shouldn't even be profitable in the transfer window, quite frankly. We shouldn't ever make profits in transfer windows. We should always be down, because Bayern are not a club that sells to make money. We're up there we're top 5 for club revenue year on year. We sell the most shirts out of any club, period. Not Real Madrid, not Barcelona. We move shirts. We are a club that should not be relying on player sales ever. So that's why I want everyone to understand that Bayern basically have $150 million to spend this January, and we're going to spend that money on a really good DM. I hope Tchouaméni starts breaking up with Real Madrid. I hope Don Carlo helps us out a little bit and puts him on the bench. I hope his career starts dying out so he feels pressured to come to Bayern. Oh, by the way, there are talks that Alphonso Davies. I just see Davies signing a new contract. I don't see him leaving to Madrid. I mean, there are people that are just worried, he's going to leave us. I mean, first of all, if Davies were to leave us in next summer, I wouldn't blame him if we just didn't improve as a team. I wouldn't. Would you really blame him? You got Madrid who are serious and have a better team coming in for you, and they're going to make you a starter. Yeah, your loyalty should be to Bayern because they made you who you are. But I think Bayern should also show Davies that we don't just want you here for the next 8 years of your life, because we want him here forever, and not be a serious. When we're doing things in the transfer window, like signing Mark Roca, Bonasar, that's not a signal to our players in the team that we're going to be serious. And I don't think we're just risking losing Davies. I think we're risking losing players like Kimmich. If you're Joshua Kimmich, aren't you going to be like, yo, I could move to Madrid too? And I'm not saying Madrid, we're on the same level, but when it comes to ambition, I feel like this club is willing to just win the Bundesliga every year, and we're fine with it. But our real ambition should be win the Champions League every year. I think Kane is a great start, but we also messed up not signing a DM. And we messed up not being in the race for Tchouaméni all those years ago. We could have offered him more money. He could have joined us. We had a bunch of French players back then. Now it's like we got 2 of them. We could have offered him a lot of money. He could have come to Bayern. We could have been in the race for Rodri. Instead, we chose to activate Lucas Hernandez's release clause, and we didn't have money for Rodri. We could have been in the race for a lot of really good players, and we missed out. Instead, we've been getting stopgaps. When Thiago left, we should have been in crisis mode to replace him. Instead, we just said, Musiala can play there. Brazo came out and said Musiala is more of a 6. He can mold himself to be Thiago. Freaking stupid weirdo. It was so clear Musiala was an attacker. And this man was saying we should convert Musiala to be a Thiago-esque player. And we've been struggling since Thiago left. And this club still didn't think after 2 transfer windows that we needed to take this seriously. So if you're Alphonso Davies, yes, you love Bayern for what they've given you, but you also, it's a reciprocal relationship. You're giving them good performances, and not last season. Let's ignore that. But you have helped the club win the Champions League. I think Davies was a big part of it. Duh. I mean, come on. He was ripping clubs apart. Here's what the club has to do. We have to make sure we keep that level of seriousness, keep that level of quality. Players, believe it or not, no one other players are playing bad. You don't think players in our team went, damn, Goretzka hasn't been good for a long time, yet he's playing every game. Why isn't Gravenberch playing when maybe in training he's doing well? You got to think about these things. It just strikes of unseriousness, and it makes perfect sense why Davies' agent comes out and says they're just waiting to see if Bayern are serious. Because we have to. I don't want to make it look like, oh, we got to start sucking up Alphonso Davies and his agent. No, what I'm saying is we have to take drastic measures to ensure that we are as ambitious as possible and as prepared to win everything as possible. In 2020, Hansi Flick was perfect. The team, everyone was fit. It was perfect. But now you can argue we haven't won a real Champions League because there's always going to be an asterisk because we won one with no one in the stadiums. Everyone's always back in the back of our minds. That's actually there. As much as we don't like to say it, there's kind of a little asterisk, you know? So the question is, will the club take the necessary steps to be ambitious? We lost Lewandowski. Great. We brought in Kane. Amazing. Perfect. I feel that's an upgrade because Barcelona are struggling with Lewandowski now because he's just old. This is great. But now, get a world-class DM. But you're going to waste time. We can't wait till next summer. This is the thing. We need to be prepared now because Kane gets 1 year older. 1 more year gone on his contract. We have to get a perfect DM, world-class. We got to just unsettle some world-class player at their club. Offer them double their wages or something. That's what we have. We have to be creative. We can't just get anyone. Palhinha's not coming. Okay, get a player that is even better than him. And I don't care how much you pay for them. It shows as a club you mean business. And now when you're pulling up the Champions League games, teams are scared of your midfield. No one's scared of our midfield because everyone just starts games and they're like, damn, Kimmich, you ain't all that. So, yeah, we just gotta be serious. Do we know what Fulham offered him in wages? No, we don't. Uncle Sharma's in here to laugh at us. Yo, maybe Inter have a DM we got to look at, you know? Maybe they got a little DM. You see, I don't see him. I do see him staying. I honestly don't even want him because if there's no release clause specifically for Bayern, then, and by the way, it would make no sense from Fulham's perspective to put a release clause because you're going to lose him in 3 months. Why give him a higher pay when you could have just kept him on the same contract? And he would have had to have performed because he needs to keep impressing Bayern. So he already had the motivation. But why would you give him a new contract with an extra year? Why? And more pay for 3 months. You're losing money. You're just losing out because he's going to go. And he's also going to go for the exact same fee, if not less, than what Bayern were offering. So it makes no sense. Makes no sense. But whatever. Let's see what happens. Thomas Tuchel's. I need to read through Tuchel's. Cologne coach Stefan Baumgart said that in Bayern's place, he would have signed Victor Boniface instead of Kane. And Tuchel says completely different type of player. What? I like Boniface, but there's no confirmation that he would have come in and done what Kane is at Bayern. I mean, yeah, Boniface is doing well at Leverkusen, but the freedom he gets is not the same kind of freedom he would have gotten at Bayern. And who's to say Bayern won't just go in for Boniface when Kane leaves? You know, Boniface is only 22. I don't know what that comment is. I get it. You might think Boniface right now is performing better than Kane, but he's not a better striker than Harry Kane. Harry Kane is global. He's international. Come on, bro. This man came in and sold jerseys like crazy. All right, boys. Good show. I think we did a pretty decent preview. Martin Zubimendi. I think Bayern is going to go for Phillips. That would be the stupidest that would actually I'd just rather sign no one. I mean, Calvin Phillips isn't horrible. He's a decent player. But I'm not exactly convinced Bayern need to go for a player like him. No, we need an upgrade. I don't think Phillips is really a specialist as a holding midfielder. I think on the ball he's good, and that's why City probably got him. But there's a reason he's not playing for Pep. Not because Rodri's just so good. He's just not on the level of all the other players. Why would we want a player that City doesn't even play? That's stupid. Thoughts on spending the full budget? I would not mind. As long as the DM makes sense. As long as, like, you know what I want? I want Javi Martinez in 2023. That's what I want. Javi Martinez with slightly better ball qualities, because that's just possible, because more players are getting more technical, and yeah, that's what I want, basically. Is that a terrible thing to ask? I don't know. Kane is the best forward. I think we are still to see the best version of Kane. And yeah, the thing is, this version, I don't mind. I don't mind Kane giving us the performances he's already given us. I don't mind him giving us good hold-up play and building chemistry with the players in the team. He already has a nice little bit of chemistry with Sane already. Musiala is coming back tomorrow. So we should see. I don't mind what I'm seeing from Kane so far. Yeah. But I'm just saying, it doesn't matter how good we get as this unit. We will lose and draw games because we will still be susceptible to those same counterattacks. That's just the point. You can be tactically set up perfectly to defend against everything. But, yeah, you're just going to still struggle. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you everyone so much for watching. I'm going to go watch this chess tournament now that I was watching before. That's why I was late. I'm going to go watch my GOAT, Hikaru, play chess. Bro, he's so good, man. This man can be completely losing a position and find a way to win it. He's my GM for a reason, bro. He is the Grandmaster, Hikaru. Oh, he just blundered. But he didn't see it. His opponent didn't see the blunder, and he made a mistake instead. What was the blunder? I don't know what the blunder was. But thank you everyone so much. Yeah, he blundered. But I don't know what he blundered. You know, Brad, these chess dudes, man. They be blundering, but you don't know what their blunder is. But thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia and peace.